Right, welcome back, guys. Nervous vet. It's been close to a week since I made one of these videos, but we're gonna go ahead and update the standings board. I was in Colorado from Thursday through Monday, so a lot of stuff's changed. Obviously, you can tell. Last time we did this, we had 7 teams left in it. Now we are down to the final 4. So quickly, we'll just go ahead and run through everything that happened last week, as if you guys had amnesia and didn't remember, But first things first, I think the first game that happened last time we did a video was we had game 5 between the Minnesota Wild and Colorado Avalanche. Colorado got off to that 2-0 start. Minnesota fired back with a really, really good game 3. Yeah, game 3. Game 4, Colorado would take, so they would be up 3-1 heading into this game. And then Minnesota got off to a really, really good start. This was on Colorado's home ice. Minnesota gets out to a 3-0 lead, and somehow the wheels fell off. I did not watch the game, but I did notice that Colorado came all the way back, tied the game late. They got 2 late goals in the third period, tied at 3 apiece, and then the rest is history. Colorado ended up winning the game in overtime. So Minnesota, valiant effort, great series against Dallas, amazing series against Dallas, but it wasn't meant to be. And I have an apology to make to any Avs fan that ever watches this video. I was absolutely dead wrong. I said Colorado won the President's Trophy. They will not win the Stanley Cup, and they look mortal because they were dropping games to Calgary, dropping games to Winnipeg, and I was just like, what the hell's going on with this stacked roster, right? They got McKinnon, Makar, Kadri, all these folks on this team, great players. The depth is just immense, but somehow they're dropping some winnable games. Not that they were going to go 82-0, but I mean, I saw the writing on the wall, and I have to say I was dead wrong. Colorado has lost 1 game this postseason, and it was to Minnesota, who had well over 100 points, one of the top teams in the entire NHL. So with that being said, Minnesota, congratulations to you and your fans. You guys made some amazing offseason moves this year, and you had a great season. You're just in the toughest division in hockey, or one of, and you played against the President's Trophy winners in the semifinals, and you lost. And you played well, better than the series would say, right? The series would say, oh, they lost in 5 games. Really? I mean, yeah, there was a couple games where it was like, man, Colorado was playing keep away. But, man, Quinn Hughes had a great season, great postseason. He looked great. He made some amazing plays. Minnesota, congratulations to you guys, and better luck next year. Moving right along, we'll just stay in the Western Conference, and we'll save the best for last. Vegas, I believe, last time I left off with you guys was up 4-2? 4-2, yeah. Or 4-2. They won 4-2. They're up 3-2 in the series. And then in Game 6, basically, Mitch Marner had like one of the best goals I've seen all year. That through the legs, like reverse through the legs goal was amazing, and everybody saw it for days afterwards. And I mean, it's still in every highlight reel for the postseason that there is. But it was amazing, truly an amazing goal. I was going for Anaheim. I got to give credit to where credit's due, though. Las Vegas, I've hated on you guys this entire season, basically. I've hated on the entire Pacific Division, but I can honestly say with the utmost confidence now that despite the Pacific Division not having a super strong team or a team with over 100 points in the regular season and a bunch of just like kind of lowlights for the division, Vegas made a coaching change, and they've kind of come into their own. They are kind of built for playoff hockey as well. Do I think they're going to beat Colorado? Not necessarily. I don't believe that's going to happen, but I do think that at this current moment in time, the 2 best Western Conference teams are definitely playing each other in the Western Conference Finals. It's unfortunate that we had to have, Minnesota and Dallas and Colorado, 3 powerhouses all in the same conference, all in the same, hemisphere of the bracket, tucked away in this corner, and only one of those teams are going to be able to represent in the Western Conference Finals, or the Stanley Cup for that matter. But with the way that the current playoff is laid out, I believe Vegas hasn't had a tough road to this point, but they have done very well with what they have. So Vegas, congratulations to you. You guys may have the 2019 All-Star team, and I give you shit for having a bunch of old has-beens, but they're showing up. They have playoff experience. They won a cup semi-recently, so congrats to Vegas Golden Knights. Anaheim, your fall from grace continued into the playoffs, but you did get the playoff series win over Edmonton, which we're all grateful for. Anybody who has Oiler fatigue is very grateful that Anaheim was able to show out in that series at least. But Vegas is moving on, and they are, without a doubt, the best team in the Pacific Division. They came out at the end, won that division, and they have now cleared that division in the postseason. And yeah, that's all there is to it. So we're going to have Vegas and Avalanche in the Western Conference Finals. I do believe that series starts tomorrow. Obviously, Carolina made a sweep. They've been off for several days now. They swept both series so far, have not lost in the postseason. They swept Ottawa, Brady Tkachuk and the Ottawa Senators, and they have swept Philly. Great season by Philly. Zegras is a absolute maniac, but, Carolina's Carolina, man. They are tough, and they are a very well-oiled machine. They have dudes that aren't even, stars turning into stars before our eyes in this postseason. That's just what a amazing playoffs this team has had so far. It's only been 8 games. They're going to play against another very talented team in the next round. We'll go ahead and get into that. So, as you can see, I am a Buffalo Sabres fan. We mentioned this in almost every video. And they've been an amazing, amazing team to watch. But there's a few moments in the Boston series where I thought that they might not be the better team on the ice. And then they changed my mind, They changed my mind. Get into the series with Montreal. Great. Game 1. Games 2 and 3, I'm convinced that we do not belong here. We are missing some pieces. And that we may only have a couple games left of our season because it just doesn't look good, right? Montreal just looked fresher. They were beating us at our own game. We were making horrible mistakes. Looked terrible. We find ourselves in a 2-1 hole. Game 4 in Montreal, quite a different story. Officiating was definitely suspect in Game 4. In Game 4, it was extremely suspect. We spent the entire night on the penalty kill, but somehow, someway, we get a lucky bounce here, a lucky bounce there, power play goal here. Next thing you know, it's tied. Series is tied 2-2. Game 5, I was in Colorado for this game at the bar over there. Get off to an extremely hot start, boys. 3 goals in the first 4 shots. And then the wheels just fell off immediately. It was insane. Montreal beat the shit out of us. Again, now I'm feeling like, well, we snuck one out in Game 4, but here we are getting our fucking stool pushed in, basically, by Montreal in Game 5. And Montreal finds themselves up 3-2. 3-2 in the series. Okay, now it seems like, well, played bad at home all year, and we're not looking good. We're trending definitely in the wrong direction. We had multiple goalie swaps through this series. We only played 2 of them, but it's bench him for him, bench him for him. We just couldn't get out of our own way in the net. It's consistently inconsistent, but headed to Game 6, find ourselves down 3-1 early on. We scored the first goal immediately, by the way. But we find ourselves down 3-1 in the first, and it's just here we go fucking again. But it almost felt deserved. I had accepted it in my heart that this is just what it is. We are not better than Montreal Canadiens. We had more points than them in the regular season, whatever that means. But at this particular moment in time, we do not deserve to make it to the next round of the playoffs, and I felt that in my heart. However, what I saw from this team in Game 6 was a lot of what I had seen from them in the regular season when they're going on these historic runs of just tearing through their schedule, win after win after win. And it was a brotherhood. It was a brotherhood that I hadn't seen in many games, maybe at all in the postseason. And we absolutely dismantled the Montreal Canadiens in periods 2 and 3 and scored, I believe, 7 unanswered goals, tie this thing up at 3 games apiece, headed back to Buffalo. All right, Game 7's yesterday. We score first. It's looking good. Or actually, no. I don't think we scored. Did we score first? Fuck, I don't even remember. I don't even fucking remember. All I know is, yeah, I think, no, Montreal scored first. I'm getting confused, guys. I'm sorry. Montreal scored first. Montreal scored second. We're down 2-0. This is accepting defeat all over again. And then all of a sudden, we pick it up in the second period. And next thing you know, we're beating the brakes off them. Like they're not even getting any scoring opportunities. The puck is in their end of the ice all night. We're just teeing off on these dudes, and we get the 2 goals that we need to send this bitch to overtime. Game 7, overtime. Apologies for the confusion. I'm talking about 3 different games in this series at once off the cuff. I don't have my phone. I don't have anything. This is all fucking based on memory, and there was a lot of beers consumed during all 3 of these games. So, anyway, Montreal scores first 2 goals. We score the second 2 goals, and this thing goes overtime 2-2, and we control. Montreal kind of controlled the early few minutes of overtime, but we had the scoring chances. We had Benson directly in front of the net, missed one. Tage Thompson has a 2-on-1, and I hate to put the blame on any one player, and I'm not going to put the blame on Tage Thompson, but some of the stuff I witnessed from this man in the postseason was just, he was too reserved at times. Like, you don't have to do a toe drag all the time, bud. Just fucking shoot the puck. It's on a 2-on-1. Pass it or shoot it. And he, like, waits and never even gets a shot off. So, like, that was, like, one of the moments where I just, like, really wish we could have that back. But, yeah. And then, not too much longer after that, turnover at the Montreal blue line by Dahlin. And 2 dudes super deep in our zone can't recover, and they come back, and it's not even an odd man rush. Dude fucking scores. I mean, scores from the hash marks on a horrible. I mean, it wasn't even a horrible shot. It was a routine save. And then Luukkonen did what Luukkonen did all series, and it's easy to put the blame on him, but he made some great saves. I mean, him and Lyon both stood on their heads at certain points of the series, but at other points of the series, like they were a screen door, man. It was like Lyon in Game 6. I mean, fuck, if we don't take him out, it's over. Dude allowed 3 goals on 3 shots. It was an embarrassment, and none of them were good, and he was never positioned correctly on any of those. And I mean, he's missing easy glove saves, bouncing off his thumb into the back of the net on like routine wrist shots. Well, this is what happened in overtime of Game 7 in a 2-2 game. Routine shot from the hash marks into the zone, right past Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, man. Under his glove, above his pad, goal, game over, season fucking over. The best season we've had in 15 years over on a routine save, and goaltending has to absolutely be address this offseason. I mean, we can't mosey on through next season with these 2 guys. I mean, they're not terrible. They helped us get to where we were, but I feel like we let some easy ones in, a lot of easy ones. If you look at some of the chances we had to create to get past not only Dobish, but Swayman as well in the first round, compared to some of the chances we just let slip by and let these games get closer than they needed to be. And then you factor in also officiating, which I hate to say the game is corrupt. I don't believe the game is corrupt. There's just certain calls that I felt shouldn't have been made at certain times, but you know, it just is what it is. We ended up losing the series 4-3. Buffalo is eliminated from the playoffs. And it's a tough pill to swallow because I feel like we ended up becoming the better team in that series. And I feel like we played as the better team in the series in the second, third, and overtime periods. But, man, you just have to be able to keep those routine shots out. And if you don't, your season's over. And that's exactly what happened. So, unfortunately, we're done. Alex Tuck and Peyton Krebs, neither one of them had a single point in the entire series. It was a 7-game series, and they weren't able to get their names on the scoreboard at all the entire series. And I believe both of these men played on the front line, on the top line, multiple points this season and off season, and it was just not getting enough from the right guys at the right times. Tage had a terrible series. He turned it around. He ended up, really turning it around later. But I mean, early portions of the series, it was brutal on him. Alex was, a complete liability. Owen Power looked lost out there at times, but he ended up playing well later in the series. And then just Krebs, horrible. Dahlin in the box all the time. But Dahlin, man, he kind of single-handedly willed us back into this thing. So, bunch of bonehead mistakes. Some of our alleged best players completely missing in action, and then suspect goaltending the entire series, really. But is what it is. Montreal, there was a time and place where I thought you were the better team in the series, and it turns out, it just kind of is what it is. You got the 2-0 lead on us, and we had to fight and claw our way back. And unfortunately, it wasn't on our side. So, with that being said, as much as it pains me to do this, Buffalo, you had a phenomenal season, a historic season. I hope to see you again in the postseason in the next 15 years. But if not, this was a season that I will always remember and cherish. And thank you for helping me through this transitionary period of my life out of the military and helping me overcome some of that through the game of hockey. So, with that being said, guys, we're now down to the final four of the NHL, and we will go ahead and reflect that. Get these guys closer together here. These are now your Eastern and Western Conference finals. Man, this thing was filled up with 32 teams not so long ago, and now we have a whopping 4 teams here. Colorado, Vegas, Carolina, Montreal. Just a quick prediction for you. We're already approaching 20 minutes in this video, but I think Colorado is actually going to have their hands full in the series. I do think that Vegas is going to steal at least a couple. I'm going to say this is going to go 6 games. I do think that Vegas is going to steal a couple games. I think this is going to be a really, really good series, but I do think Colorado is going to win in 6. Carolina and Montreal. I think Carolina, and I'm not just saying this because Montreal beat us, I think Carolina was destined to beat whoever won in our series, to be completely honest. I think they're well rested. I think they could drop a game, though. I do not see them sweeping 3 series in a row. I don't see them having another 4-game series. I think Carolina will beat the Montreal Canadiens. I think they'll beat them in 5 games. So I think we're going to see, I hope we see a Carolina-Colorado Stanley Cup final. And that is something that I can get behind. But with that being said, you all have a great rest of your day. I am receiving a phone call, and you guys, remember, watch hockey. It's good for you.